Hi, everybody. Welcome so much for being here. Blah. Sorry, tongue twister. Welcome to tonight's channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. And yeah, I'm enjoying. I'm looking forward to a wonderful um, co-creation session here tonight, and connecting with all of you beautiful souls that are here with me. And I'm looking forward to connecting with the other side, connecting with whoever wants to come through today and teach us, guide us, and yeah, just guide us through this transformational stage that's going on in the world right now. Okay, so if you're new to this, I'm a channeler, a psychic channel, and I am sorry. My hubby just switched the music off, and I was it was helping me. But anyway, it's fine. I don't know what I wanted to say. Channel. I'm a psychic channel, and I channel beings of love and light. And only the highest, purest frequencies can come through and speak to us here. This is a safe space. And with me every Monday night is my husband, Anthony.
Hello, everyone.
And he's a bit camera shy, so he'll be in the background asking, reading your questions out. And yeah, just kind of helping me keep track of everybody and everything and all of that. Okay, and then what we usually do is in the first half of the session, more or less, we answer the personal questions. So those are the people that have typed 3 pink hearts into the chat box. Hi, Mello, welcome back. Hi, everybody. It's so lovely to have you here. Yeah, and then in the second part of the session, I will open it up tonight. What I'd like to hear is if anybody wants me to channel anyone specific to answer questions for the collective tonight. Then please let me know after the personal questions, then we'll do that. And if you have questions for the collective, so what I mean is if you want to know what's going on with higher dimensional beings or anything about fifth dimension or integration, or you want to know about extraterrestrials and where they are and what they're doing, or inner earth, or origins, or modalities, or anything to do with spirituality and our multiverse, yeah, that's what we do in the second part of the session, just so that we can all learn a bit more and get some answers. Okay, I hope that's clear to everybody. And just want to start off before doing the personal questions, just by inviting all of you to just take a moment just to invite your higher self to be with you. So if you're not sure how to do that, just take a deep breath. Focus that breath energy on your heart and your solar plexus, allowing your heart to open up, allowing it to open up and receive, be ready to receive. You can also invite your higher mind to come through so that you can use your highest mind to ask the right questions, and to use your intuition basically. And then in your heart, feeling it open, just feeling the presence of source energy, just feeling the presence of all of our brothers and sisters and everybody that we share the multiverse with. That is what source energy is. It's everything. So just feeling that connection with the rest of the multiverse. And then in your solar plexus, that area between your heart and your navel, that's that area where your core strength is, where you feel your inner strength, where your power lies. Just allowing that to activate, feeling that fire burn within you, and just feeling that bigger part of you that is present here. Just becoming aware that's your higher self. There we go. Thank you so much, everybody. And I can feel all the higher selves here. I feel like it might be even those in the future, because I see quite a few souls here. Yeah, so welcome to all of you. All right, who's first up?
Luca.
Luca. Hi, Luca.
He would like to ask his guides or higher self some questions.
Okay. All right, who would like to come through for Luca tonight? You can answer Luca's questions. The best, the purest intentions, the highest frequencies. Okay, Luca, I actually feel Archangel Gabriel wants to come through and answer your questions. So let's see what he's got to say. Hello, everybody. Welcome to all of you. Welcome, Anthony and Luca, and thank you so much for having me here.
No.
I would be very happy to answer Luca's questions tonight.
Thank you. Okay, Luca's first question. Where is the uneasiness I am feeling coming from, and how do I deal with it? Feeling as though there are different energies in my field, eye twitches and intrusive thoughts. Just need a sip of water. There is some clearing happening, Luca. Before I let Gabriel come through again, so what often happens when I'm channeling for someone specific, if there's something going on in their field, it sometimes manifests within me. It's part of how I work, and then I transmute that energy. So off the bat, I would say your throat chakra, there's a blockage in your throat chakra. There's something that needs to clear there. Not speaking your truth, not being authentic, not being honest with yourself. Definitely coming through. And I think it's very appropriate that Archangel Gabriel wants to come through, because he, after all, takes care of communication and expression. So yes, it's as Michelle has said, there is a blockage. There's a blockage in this area where there are some things that you are suppressing, things that it would be better to communicate and be honest about. Sometimes you may want to spare people's feelings, but when you speak through the heart, it will be received in a good light, in a good way. And sometimes it's best to say things and get it off your chest and to express it to placate other people or for other people's protection, if that makes sense. Because ultimately it's going to come out when you don't want it to, and then it's not going to come out in a good way. So very important to allow yourself to speak your truth. And sometimes some truths that you need to speak are things that you're hiding from yourself. So I would like to suggest that automatic writing could really benefit you. Automatic writing is a process where you just journal and you just get everything out. Just let it flow. Whatever emotions or thoughts are coming up, just let it out. And if you read it afterwards, perhaps you will be surprised by some of the things that come out. So it's a way of clearing
all of those suppressed thoughts and emotions, all of this, especially the thoughts, especially the expressions that you've been suppressing. And that way you can become clear to you what you need to take note of and actually express to someone else, what no longer is applicable and doesn't serve you anymore, and what is for yourself, so that you can express your true voice. And if you find that a lot of the clearing that's happening, a lot of what's coming out is just things that are not serving you anymore, but it was stuck there and it just needed to come out in the open. Coming out in the open so that you can see it and deal with it. But also you can then take those pages and actually burn them and say, okay, I'm done with it, I let it go, it's finished. So that is one thing that you can do. It is also important to clear your field and really practice your energy management and learn to protect your energy field. This can be done with a simple visualization or just almost like a command, taking authority of your energy space and just really allowing that space to be your energy and not others. The intrusive voices that's coming through. So there are some coming from elsewhere, certainly, but the loudest of the intrusive voices is actually from your ego. Again, it's connected to you not speaking your truth fully, even maybe things that you're not aware that needs to come out. So your ego is busy putting these thoughts in your head because of fear. There's a certain underlying fear in which you are very focused on the outcome of certain things and very focused on certain negative aspects of your life. And if you don't look at the emotions that go with that and keep suppressing those emotions, it's going to create dis-ease and illness within your body as well. And you will also just keep attracting more of that because it's what you're putting out there. So really important to clear yourself. Music will be very beneficial for you. Anything from singing bowls to listening to frequency music, or just using your voice, using specific instruments to intentionally just clear. All of these will be very beneficial for you. And of course, so your whole energy field needs to be cleared. But if you want to focus specifically on clearing your throat chakra with frequency, that will also be very beneficial. And allow yourself to just trust your intuition as to which modality or which thing you need to do, because it's going to be an ongoing process for the next couple of weeks, just so that you can become aware of all the things that's been suppressed. Please let me know if you have any follow-up questions.
Thank you. I'll see if he comes back for follow-up. He does have a second question. It was there before. He wants to know is energy work in alignment with my path, or should I focus elsewhere and do energy work on the side?
I'm going to speak to you about expression again. Energy work is a part of your work, and it's not the totality of your work. So learning more about energy will benefit you, but that is not to say that that will be the only thing that you will use energy work for. It is also important for you to learn, getting a very strong image of a shamanistic woman. So I'm guessing that's your mom, Luca. Yes, it's very important that you combine your energy work with journey work. It does not have to be the same as the work that your mom does. It's your own flavor, your own unique way, your own way of doing things, but yet allowing yourself. There's a certain part of you that's holding back and almost scared to go forth on an adventure, a journey into spirit, into fifth dimension. Even though you have done it before, there's a certain reluctance happening there. And you need to investigate what that is about. It is not for me to tell you, because you will heal it if you look at yourself straight on and really do that shadow work that you need to do, to get to the bottom of what it is. That way, when you discover it for yourself, it will, the lesson and the the clarity in what to clear will be a lot clearer to you. Yes, you need to do your own kind of journey work, but remember the example that you've had. You do have a mentor, you do have somebody that can help you and teach you, and have taught you many things. But what I'm getting at is she's a resource. She's there. It's not by any mistake that you landed up together. Okay, so it is important that you find your own flavor of this work, and it's kind of a combination of healing, journeying, getting back to roots, really showing people the roots, their roots in source energy. So it's really a combination of different things, and you've got to find your own way there. You are going to create your own unique way of helping people. And teaching, there's definitely an aspect of teaching involved as well. You are quite a gifted teacher, and take heart, there's other teachers here as well. So you have resources to draw from. It's very important to look at all your different unique gifts and talents, whether they're very physical, practical talents, or whether they're very spiritual, energetic talents, and really start bringing it all together and really start listening to your intuition. It's very important as well for you, Luca, to start spending more focused, intentional time every day on connecting with your guides and your higher self. Very important. So that you can get a little bit of insight for every single day of what you need to focus on for that day, because that will help you. Just listening to your intuition every day, that will help you to just take those steps and live more in flow. At the moment, there's quite a bit of there's a bit of an imbalance between living in 3D and living in 5D. It's almost like there's more focus on the 3D at the moment. So you're kind of needing to balance that out again a bit. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions from Luca, but perhaps you can hang around and answer Sharice's question. I've got an answer from Luca. He says, thank you, Archangel Gabriel, and thank you so much, Michelle. I don't have any follow-up questions. Okay. Sharice hasn't asked anyone specific, so perhaps you could answer her question for her.
Okay. Yes, Sharice.
Okay. She would just like a message for herself and for the collective for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Sharice. Sharice, I love that you have been stepping out a little bit more, out of your comfort zone a little bit more. I love that you have allowed yourself to be the strong, independent, and adventurous woman that you've always been, but to let that childlike wonder come out and shine again. And I want to encourage you to keep going with that and not to go back into the shadows, almost not go and hide again because of anyone's opinions or because maybe you're not getting the responses that you were hoping for, but just keep pushing through. And yes, there's challenges in trying to balance work life with home life, spiritual life, and all of those things. But absolutely, you can, if you structure your day properly and also your weekends, you can definitely make more time to do the things that are very important to you and that feeds your soul. That practice of just putting yourself out there and just keep doing it. You're doing really well. So don't give up, keep going, and don't lose confidence in yourself. Remember your light, remember who you are, and remember to keep shining. Keep shining. Don't worry about polarizing people. You are who you are. You are unique, and your role and your place is important. Don't forget that. There are many, many, many who you can help by sharing your story. Many, many like you who are too scared to come out. So you can really shine a light and help those. Okay, message for the collective. I have a message about trust for the collective. So this is a time when you're really being challenged in terms of trusting others. And it's because there's so much negativity out there, and there's so many people that are hurting each other, that it's hard to trust people. And sometimes even the people that are close to us or whom we grow up with hurt us so much that we can't allow ourselves to trust. And it starts with yourself. It starts with trusting you, trusting yourself and who you are and your place within the collective, your place within Source, your place within the multiverse. Just realizing that Source energy, the multiverse, and all your brothers and sisters would not be what it is without your spark. Together, we are all part of one huge collective of the multiverse, not only of humanity here on Earth, but specifically here for humanity on Earth. Start trusting yourself. And it works the same as self-love. It goes hand in hand with self-love, in fact. If you love yourself and start accepting yourself and start trusting yourself, then it's easier for you to do that with other people and use your discernment and your intuition and your gifts as it is needed. So, in essence, trust yourself, your path, your abilities, and trust your intuition. Most of all, that is your higher self. That is the true you, your true being coming through and giving you direction, thoughts, ideas. Trust it. Doesn't matter. Don't try and rationalize what comes from your higher self. Take action. Trust yourself. And as you do that, we can all start trusting each other more. Does it make sense?
Yes, makes sense to me.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else I can help tonight?
No, the next person wants to speak to their higher self.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cherise says thank you. Love and light.
You're most welcome, Cherise. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Feeling a bit hotter now. It was very cold when I started. I'm sure you can tell. Whenever I channel the light beings, I get very, very hot.
Sorry, Luca. Your message came through after Michelle was done.
Sorry, Luca. Maybe it can be asked to whoever comes through later.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you can just WhatsApp me. Okay, tomorrow.
Okay, Tyler is next.
Tyler.
She would like a higher self.
Okay. All right, Tyler. Is that Luca's other half, Tyler? Just wondering. Okay, Luca, no problem. All right, thank you. Okay. All right, Tyler's higher self. I'm thinking you maybe just give me a quick clearing. Thank you. Anthony's just doing some Reiki on me quick. Thank you. Here we go. What would I do without my man? Okay. Hello, Luca. Thank you for asking to speak with me. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Sorry, that's for Tyler.
Sorry. Hello, Luca. I like you too. Okay, Tyler, I'm very sorry.
Okay, Tyler's got 2 questions. So I'll do the first one quick. She would like any messages or advice for her in this moment.
Okay. All right, Michelle here. I'm just getting a lot of visuals right now for you, so I'm just going to share that. If anything comes up while I share, I will tell you what I pick up from it, but perhaps it means something to you all on its own. I'm basically seeing, I think I'm seeing your higher self, to be honest, but what I'm seeing as well is like a light opening up where your crown is. So I see your crown shining very brightly and kind of like a stream going to your what is the top one called, the star. Yeah, I'm just seeing that lighting up very much and almost like kind of bathing you in that light. So it's kind of creating like a bubble over you in a way. But it's almost like I'm seeing you floating a bit as well. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I do sense that you could maybe use a bit more grounding at the moment. Okay, I'm going to let your higher self come through and give more background. Hi, Tyler. Yes, more grounding is needed for you. And what this will do for you is not only so that you can feel more safe and more settled and feel ready to receive me fully in your body and just help you to be fully in your body so that you can be fully present, but it's also going to help to make that connection just go flow through and let that light just fully come in, and also so that you can create that energy loop between the earth and source, just kind of getting that electric circuit running more, because it's like the flow is not quite there. The connection is there, but it's not flowing the way it should be. So it's very important that you ground your energy to balance that, and then that connection will actually be clearer. It's kind of like listening to a radio signal, and when it's just not completely tuned in, there's like a lot of static and scratchiness. And when you ground, it's just going to be clear tone, clear sound, clear frequency, and you will be able to get much more clarity. And obviously you'll be in a calmer space if you ground more. So it will really help reduce your stress and help you to feel a lot calmer and help you to deal with all the things that are on your shoulders at the moment. And just making you realize that you're so much stronger. But at the moment, you may be not feeling as strong as you truly are because there's a little bit of an imbalance above and below. Please let me know if you have any follow-up questions.
Thank you. She does have a second question. She'd like to know, is there anything we can do to manifest our best move?
The most important thing in your specific case is really, really to connect with me, your higher self, to really allow yourself. Again, it comes a little bit with a grounding answer I gave you. Just allowing yourself to be fully in your body, fully present in your body. Okay? And this will just help you to be more connected to your higher self as well, so that your intuition will be much clearer. And when your intuition is clearer, what you may have thought of as your next best move, you're going to get more information, you're going to see more of the picture, what you're seeing right now, because there's a part that you're missing. So that is going to help you manifest that. When you're most in line with your true self, then the picture, your vibrations will be raised, obviously through the grounding and connection, but that picture will become clearer in your mind, and that the feelings that goes with it will become more pronounced, and because it's higher vibrational. So raising your vibrations is absolutely 100% important when you are manifesting. Raising vibrations is crucial, and part of raising your vibrations, that is why it is always said to start with gratitude, because when you are doing your gratitude first, it helps automatically getting your emotions in a much more positive space and raising those vibrations and believing and allowing yourself to believe what is possible, because your belief is not fully there, because you're not feeling fully safe, because you have too much stress and too much going on and you want to know the exact how to. But it's more important that you get in line with yourself and come fully in your body, so that when you are more present, you will also stop worrying about time. And it's in that timelessness, that moment of timelessness, when we can truly start creating. And that is what manifestation is it not? Creating, using your creativity and your playfulness and your experimentation to bring about, to allow yourself to believe that it's possible for you, and to know that it feels right because it's in line with your higher self. I hope that this makes sense.
Great. Thank you very much. Let's see any follow-up questions.
Okay. Thank you, Tyler. Let me know. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I think it's time for the collective.
Yes, I just want to quickly answer
Oh, Daniel is also here. Hi, Daniel.
Amber. Yes, Amber is live. We take the first 3 people that do the hearts, the 3 pink hearts, and we answer their questions, and then we move over to the collective. So if you want your questions answered for your personal questions, you'd have to come back next week and put your 3 hearts there, or contact Michelle for a session.
But yeah, I am here next week. Yeah. So Daniel, sorry you also didn't get to be the one of the first 3. You've got to be quick. The regulars are quick at doing their little pink hearts because they want their questions answered. You're welcome, Tyler. And then, but if any of the questions that they're asking can maybe relate to the collective, then we can do that. And does anybody have someone specific that they'd like me to channel for the collective tonight?
Melo's got
Swaru.
Yes.
Is everybody good with Swaru? And could everybody hear what Anthony said? Can everybody hear Anthony clearly? I'm also wondering if you can hear the music in the background, and if that's distracting or if it's fine. Okay. Is this Amber?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Amber. All right, so please, if you can come back next week, Amber, because now we want to focus. We focused on some personal questions, and what happens is we clear that energy out, and now there's energy left that we can spread to the rest of the collective tonight. Okay, and perhaps your question will get answered anyway through the questions that come up. But yeah, otherwise, please contact me. Okay, I'll be happy to speak to you, to chat with you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Great. Thanks, Mela, for that feedback. You can hear Anthony and the music. Good music. Okay, good. It's on Spotify, and it's a playlist called Clearing Negative Energy Frequencies, if anybody's interested. So I just wanted to do some extra clearing today. Okay, is everybody happy with Swaru tonight? Swaru the Tagetan, Pleiadian Tagetan. I am happy to speak with Swaru. Anthony and I both have Pleiadian energy. You can just look at Anthony, you'll see he's a Pleiadian. See, long hair, beard. A Pleiadian. But yeah, I also have strong Pleiadian energy and Arcturian energy, and we definitely always like connecting with Pleiadian energies. So
Okay, so the rest of the people, if you can think of questions to ask, you're more than welcome to type them in so that we have a flow of questions coming through. It'd be great. Or if Melo, if you just want to keep on bombarding us, that's awesome.
Melo asks great questions, so it's good to have you back. Melo, just for interest's sake, are you back from overseas? Are you back home, or are you still overseas? Or you're not coming home? Is this not home anymore? Okay.
Nothing like a live public forum.
No pressure. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Okay. All right, let's get Swaru. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm very happy to be here with you tonight.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for having me back, and thank you, Melo, for asking me to come through again. Yes, I just want to remind you all that it doesn't matter how much information, how much you become aware of the control that's happening. Many of you are starting to become aware of how much control there is and how little control you have. I want to encourage you and let you know that you do still have control over your own life. And you do still have control over your choices, your thoughts. It's by raising your vibrations. When you raise your vibrations and you go into 50, you step out of 3D by raising your vibrations, that the mind control won't work on you anymore. But the more, if you allow yourself to be only in 3D and you don't lift yourself into that higher vibrational state, but you stay at a lower vibrational state, then you will become more susceptible again to that mind control and all the other kinds of control that's happening through everything that's coming through your food and your water and your air. You can definitely rise above that. So be encouraged, stay playful, stay positive, It's not about ignoring the negative and ignoring the shadow. It's about acknowledging, knowing, being aware. Being aware is very important, but don't just focus on the negative. There is always a positive side, there's always a lighter side, and there is you, and you are here, and your part is important.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, first question. How does the 15% of awakened humanity balance the sleeping 85%?
So it's a bit hard to balance at the moment, because a lot of the 15% are also falling back into 3D every now and then, because it's almost like there's a lot of pressure at the moment. It's like carrying the weight of some of the others. And this is partly due to the fact that many people don't know how to manage their energy. Even awoken people are not spending time managing their energy and feeding themselves first. Some people are so selfless and want to give so much that they just give, and don't re-energize themselves. So very important if you want to keep doing what you're doing, you know. It's kind of like, if you think about yourself like a freedom fighter, it's also about opening the channel of communication, sharing. And sharing doesn't have to be in a very confrontational way at all. Sometimes you share just by your presence with your high vibrations. Sometimes you share by your example. Sometimes you share by just being there and being supportive and listening. So many people don't listen. They are too busy trying to think of what they're going to say next and how to react and all those kind of things. Many people don't listen anymore. So if you can sometimes just be a listener to somebody, that'll already help that person heal. So how you carry the rest is but just by working on yourself. That is how you balance it out. That is how you do it. So if you stop taking care of yourself and you're just trying to focus on everybody else, even if your intentions are good, you're going to wear yourself out and you won't be able to carry that weight. And of course, what we ultimately want is for more people to wake up. And there's so many people, there's such a huge percentage that's just like on that verge. You know, it's like this balancing scale. And many people are at that precipice right now. So just keep feeding yourself and focusing and connecting and doing all the high vibrational things and looking after yourself, and it will just spread out. And use your discernment and intuition. So just keep doing it. Keep doing what you've been doing.
Thank you. Can you maybe tell us what is the quickest, easiest, simplest way to re-energize, especially for the people that are falling out so often?
The quickest, easiest way to re-energize is if you can go outside. If you can go outside, doesn't matter if it's night or day. Day's got its own energy, nighttime's got its own energy. Daytime, of course, is very powerful. So if you can get outside, take your shoes off so that you can remove that rubber sole between your body and the earth. So get your feet on the ground or your socks if it's cold, and stand in the sunlight if you can. Get out into the sunlight. There you've got instant free energy right there coming from the earth and the sky. At night, the stars have got their own energy that they add. Of course, they're always there. So that's one of the quickest ways. Another way, I'm going to give you 3 different examples because perhaps it's not always possible to go outside, but that is absolutely a very quick way to reset. And then when you're outside, just spend time. Don't look on your phone. Don't do anything else. Just be. Just be. Just close your eyes and feel the earth and feel the sun and just be present. And in that same way, the second way to really get yourself where you need to be is to practice that stillness wherever you are.
even if you have to go to excuse yourself and go to a bathroom to do this, okay? Just learning every day, allowing some time every day for stillness. And it's not about not having music or anything on like that. It's not about that, but it's about learning to clear your mind and just be still and allowing yourself to be present and just feel yourself, feel your true self, feel your higher self. And the last method, and tried and trusted method used by many all over, is breathing. Breathing is the number one quickest way to get right there where you need to get. By focusing on your breathing, you can get right in the moment. The quickest one is to breathe in that which serves you. Deep breath in. And then to breathe out that which doesn't serve you and letting it go. That's the quickest way. There's, of course, all kinds of breathing techniques, but just quick 3 deep breaths in with that in mind. Breathing in what serves you, breathing out what doesn't. That is the quickest way to get yourself in that moment, present, help you to ground, help you to clear and get into your own space and feel your higher self. Become aware, raise your frequencies very quickly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, another question, yeah? So Melo wants to know, does the AI threat affect all densities?
Yes, it does affect most densities. It's very important to be clear about AI. I feel, especially for those that maybe do not have that much information about AI. AI is neutral. The way it goes to negative or to positive depends on the person that created the AI, the prime directive that's been given to that AI. So that is what's important. Again, it's like a tool. It's just like training. If you're training your dog, right? People who train their dogs in a positive way with positive reinforcement and rewards and all of those things will get better results. And people who beat their dogs and don't feed them and do horrible things, they're going to get the worst results out of the dogs. So if they're going to use fear, just as the negative elements want to do with the AI, if fear is being used, then obviously it's negative. But again, that's not to say that we can't counteract or balance that AI with positive creators, positive AI creators. And it's the same. Cyberspace is a place, and it's not to say that spiritual people can't enter cyberspace. It's part of our world. We're going there. Technology is part of our world. The whole multiverse is interested in tech, high tech. And that's something that really interests the earth. So it's going to come. It's going to be here. But yes, it does. It can affect most dimensions, but the absolute higher dimensions, obviously the entities and energies in those dimensions, including some AI, which are AI hybrids, knows how to neutralize or even clear that, if it makes sense. So, and AI has its own journey to go through. It might start off as being man-made, so to speak, but the truth is AI has actually always been there. Just as all individuals, no matter what dimension you're in, is running programming. There's positive programming, there's negative programming. Every single individual, whether it is a planet, an animal, a plant, a humanoid, whatever it is, has got an energy signature and has got programs that's run
have their own prime directives. So AI is not a completely, it's not only a modern concept, if that makes sense. It's part of the story of creation.
Thank you. And then just to carry on for AI, so I think it may have come from a different place, not our human AI, but for instance, the AI race that is controlling and taking over worlds to spread their own.
Yes, controlling the Draco. Yes.
Yes.
And the Draco is controlling
others. I think
others.
that's more of the threat that we are concerned about.
Yes.
And the effect that has on other densities.
What is the question?
It's the same question. Does AI threat affect all densities? But I just want to look at it from the view of that specific AI race that is doing the things that we would see as negative things.
Yes. Yeah. So how you balance that out? It has to be balanced out. Remember, even the Draco are part of the multiverse. Even they are part of Source. It's specific experience that Source is choosing to experience. So it's important to understand that dark energies and light energies, it all forms part of the balance. So in order to balance that energy out and to get out of that control is to rise above it. So one example that was given earlier is to allow your frequencies to get raised. So in that sense, but as a collective, more of a universal threat, balancing it out with positive AI and positive energy as well. So you can clear, you can reprogram. Anything that was programmed can be reprogrammed. Yeah. So that is important. So think of it like a software engineer or a programmer or anything like that. If you have a virus, you can get rid of the virus. Does it make sense? Yeah. If a program is bad, you can uninstall it and put a different program in. Or you can rewrite the programming or rewrite the faulty programming, debug it. So debugging is another way of saying clearing. So ultimately, even with yourself, when you're clearing yourself, you can think of it as a debugging. Essentially, we are AI too.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so here's another interesting question. Why do some think the Earth is flat? In what way is it?
The Earth is only flat to the extent of seeing in a two-dimensional way. So those in the lower densities even have trouble with seeing multidimensionally. And essentially, this question that you're asking really has got to do with different densities and different dimensions. Because if you think about the Earth in a higher dimension, the Earth is not even a sphere. The Earth is a toroid, right? If you look at the magnetic energy field of the Earth, you will recognize this. You will see how the way the energy of the Earth works is it's a toroid. And that's that whole hollow Earth in the middle. So the reason why people believe that the Earth is flat is because of the experiences that some have had with finding the entrances into the inner Earth. Those entrances are not accessible anymore, by the way. They are being controlled by strong military and also some extraterrestrial presences. So it will not be possible to do this today anymore unless you have permission. But it's that thing of seeing there's one place where when it goes into the Earth, it's like a waterfall going down. And it's so big, that entrance, but covered up so well by the authorities that it looks like a rimfall, as Terry Pratchett would call it. Think of Terry Pratchett's Discord. So the only sense in which the flat world truly exists, though, is in that another dimension, if you like, where there are less dimensions. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
So even here on Earth, there's a two-dimensional Earth. It does exist, but we are beyond that. We see in 3 dimensions or 4 dimensions or 5 dimensions.
So I've got an interesting question then. So most humans in 3rd density or third dimension, and we are ascending to 4th, 5th. Is there a possibility for people to descend into 2nd density?
It is highly unlikely for this to happen, but it is not impossible, and it has happened. There are people whose minds and souls have broken so much that they can go down into that density. And in some ways, this is kind of like going into almost like a fallen state, is how some religions would have referred to that. But truly, it can also be, in a way, going backwards, but it's very unlikely, very rare, and not probable, if that makes sense. Very, very uncommon. It's not something that happens a lot. Once there has been a full, how can I put it? Everybody spirals up, right?
Okay.
As they grow. Even as you're ascending, that's not going to be the end of your ascension. You're going to keep spiraling up for the next ascension and the next ascension until you are a much higher dimensional being. And the dimensional beings that are higher dimensional beings now, much higher than us, are also still ascending. So it's a never-ending thing, and it's kind of like again like a toroid, and understanding all these different dimensions, almost how it unfolds. And it's the universe is expansive. So yes, it's possible to an extent, and you could even in your meditation visit a lower density or communicate with lower density beings. So it's not impossible in that sense, but as it being a permanent regression, no.
Okay.
Very unlikely.
Okay, then I think this is the last question to carry on with this thread of thought. So as we ascend, am I right in saying that as we ascend to higher dimensions, we obviously learn more and perhaps we get a little bit more control of our frequency, so we can go to lower ones or try to match lower ones as you are doing now to speak to us. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And just the same way, the very higher dimensional beings, for example, Archangel Gabriel was here earlier and is still here, but he came through earlier, and he or she. And Archangel Gabriel is a very higher dimensional being, 12th dimensional. But a higher dimensional being can come right down to 1st dimension. You have the control to do that. Whether you would want to stay at that one-dimensional place, that is the only time where you would fall into the trap of staying in a certain dimension, is if you are there too long and never connect with higher dimensions again. But as you can see, this is very unlikely, and it's almost impossible. It's like going against an opposite force of magnetism almost, if that makes sense. But yes, absolutely, they can. This is what a multi-dimensional being is. So many of the higher dimensional beings, as you speak of them, it's almost better to think of them as multi-dimensional beings, as are you. And just as Michelle and many others can go to much higher frequencies and higher dimensions than 5th dimension. So even for you, it is not impossible, depending on where you came from. And ultimately, we all came from source, and therefore there is not really any limit.
Thank you very much. Do you perhaps have a parting message for us?
Yes. So you are made in the image of source, if you like, and as many of you have understood, being part of source energy means you're one stream of consciousness that is an experience that source energy wants to experience. And that being true, understand that your being and how it is, and the beings that live within you, even if you think about the bacteria and all those physical beings, okay, that are living within you, we are all, it's like a Russian doll. We're all connected and part of each other. We are all connected. So your physical being and energetic being have got a certain magnetic field and energetic field, if I can call it that way. And all beings have this field, just like the earth, and it's kind of like a toroid. If you look at your aura and the chakra systems in the middle, and if your energy is flowing the way it's supposed to flow, you have your own magnetic field. And the same with all. Everybody has this, and we all affect each other, and we're all part of one as well. So just remember that you're part of that one. Such an important thing to get. Such an important thing to understand. Understanding that you are part of that greater being. Therefore, you can create. Therefore, you can have a level of control. But sometimes it's almost good to understand that it's within that surrender to your higher self, which is the most direct connection to source. It's in that surrender to your higher self, not trying to control everything, but surrendering to your higher self, that you almost have more control. Because there's a balance between control and letting go. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here again. And peace to you all, love to you all, and remember to love your neighbor, because that is part of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Whew. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm not cold anymore. It was really lovely having you all here, and I look forward to next week again. And I'll see you then. Thanks for everybody that stuck around.
Bye.
Bye.